For over a decade, millions of us played. We peeled back game pieces on our fries and sodas, all chasing that one lucky ticket. But the truth is, the entire game was a lie.
What if every single winner was handpicked before anyone even bought a Big Mac? This is Decode Station.
Okay, so to really get the scale of this whole thing, we've got to go back. You have to remember what this game actually meant to people. The McDonald's Monopoly promotion, it wasn't just some contest. It was a full-blown cultural phenomenon. And the whole premise? It was genius, really. So simple. You buy some food, you get these little game pieces, you match Park Place with Boardwalk, and boom, you're a millionaire. It felt so achievable, So fair. And that excitement was contagious. It really made you believe that anyone could be the next person to win big. And boy, did people play. We're talking an estimated 80 million Americans. 80 million. This wasn't just a marketing campaign anymore. It was practically a national pastime. And it was all built on that one powerful feeling: hope. The hope for a prize that could change everything. But here's the thing about that hope. It was built on a foundation of trust, right? You trusted McDonald's, one of the biggest brands on the planet. You trusted that the game was legit, that everyone, whether you were a college kid or a CEO, had the exact same shot. And that trust was about to be absolutely shattered. See, what none of us knew was that deep inside the machinery of this massive game, there was a fatal flaw. Just one single point of failure that made the whole thing completely vulnerable. So here's how it worked. McDonald's didn't actually print the game pieces themselves. No, they outsourced the entire operation to this other company, a security firm called Simon Marketing. And this firm, they were responsible for everything, making the tickets, making sure they were distributed randomly. Basically, they were supposed to be the guardians of the entire game, the ones making sure it was all fair. And right at the very top of that security chain, the guy overseeing every single procedure, every audit, every safeguard designed to prevent exactly this kind of fraud, well, it all came down to one man. His name was Jerome Jacobson. And as the director of security, he wasn't just some guard watching over things. No, he was the architect. You know all those security protocols that everyone was trusting? He's the one who created them, which means he knew exactly how to get around them without anyone ever noticing. So for years, Jacobson used his inside knowledge not to protect the game, but to rig it, systematically. He started quietly, just plucking the most valuable winning pieces right off the production line. We're talking the million-dollar tickets, the new cars, gone, before they ever even had a chance of ending up in the public's hands. And his scheme was incredibly methodical. So step 1, he'd steal the big tickets himself. Then, step 2, he'd pass them off to a small, trusted circle of accomplices, his recruiters. Step 3, these recruiters would then go out and find people, friends, family, anyone willing to pretend to be a legitimate winner. And finally, step 4, the fake winner claims the prize and the cash gets split, flowing all the way back up the chain, with Jacobson, of course, taking the biggest piece of the pie. This whole network was just so cunning. Jacobson and his crew were smart about it. They spread the fake winners all across the country. One winner might pop up in Florida one year, the next in California. It created this perfect illusion that it was all just random luck. Nobody would ever notice a suspicious little group of winners all in the same state. So get this, between 1995 and 2001, this network stole nearly every single high-value prize. Everyone. They siphoned off more than $24 million. All while millions of us were out there buying fries and dreaming of a lucky break, the game was already over. It was fixed. And for years, this scam ran like a well-oiled machine. It was totally undetected. It seemed unstoppable. But then, in 2001, everything changed. All because of one single phone call. The FBI office in Jacksonville, Florida gets an anonymous tip. And the person on the other end doesn't beat around the bush. They're direct. They say the winners of the McDonald's Monopoly game are fakes, and that the newest million-dollar winner, he's in on it. And that right there, that was the one loose thread that was about to unravel the entire thing. So the FBI takes this tip very seriously, and they launch a massive undercover investigation. And the code name they gave it, you can't make this up, they borrowed it from another huge game show and called it Operation Final Answer. And this operation was something straight out of a Hollywood movie.
I mean, you had agents going deep undercover, pretending to be a TV crew just to interview one of these fake winners. They put wiretaps on the phones of all the key suspects, including Jacobson himself, and they just meticulously followed the money trail until they had mapped out the entire crooked network, coast to coast.
And what they heard on those wiretaps, it was just staggering. Think about it. Well, all of us saw this fun, harmless family game, a game of pure luck. The FBI was listening in on the reality. They were hearing criminals arguing over who got how much money, coaching each other on their fake stories, and just plain panicking about getting caught. The whole thing came to a head in August of 2001. After all those years of running the scam without a hitch, Jacobson's entire network just collapsed. It took a matter of days. The FBI started making arrests all across the country. And by the next month, the story broke, and all of us, millions of Americans, finally learned the insane truth. The fallout was, well, it was immediate and it was massive. Because this wasn't just about stolen money, was it? This was a deep, fundamental betrayal of trust. The trust between one of the biggest brands in the world and millions of its most loyal customers.
Just try to imagine that feeling for a second. Every single person who ever bought a large fries just for that game piece, every family that got excited putting the little properties on the board, you had all been played. When it came to the big prizes, the game you thought you had a chance to win, it was literally impossible. It was unwinnable from the very beginning. Now, it's really easy to just point the finger at Jerome Jacobson, right? To just write this off as a story about one greedy guy, one bad apple. But if you look a little closer, a much more troubling picture starts to come into focus. Because this wasn't really just about one man's greed. This was about a total systemic failure. Think about it. The entire security of a game played by 80 million people, it all rested on one person, with no real independent oversight to keep him in check. The system gave one man absolute power, and then just blindly trusted he wouldn't abuse it. And that trust, that was the fatal flaw in the whole design. Ultimately, the McDonald's monopoly fraud is this huge, powerful reminder that trust, once you break it, is incredibly hard to get back. It shows us that a system designed without the right checks and balances isn't just a little flawed. It's basically an open invitation for someone to get corrupt. So no, this wasn't just a scam. It was a broken system. Stay curious. Stay skeptical.